Today we will start discussing on karma, bondage of karma, karma bandhana. We read in the Bhagavad Gita again and again that we must all work incessantly or frequently with love and everything else. All work is by nature composed of good and evil. We can't do any work which will not do some good somewhere. It's not possible. There cannot be any work which will not cause some harm somewhere. So these two are like part and parcel of anything else. If we do the good thing, virtuous thing, if we start, analyzing it, we will find a lot of sins has been occurred, but it was not our intention. And when people does intentionally some papa karma, if we start analyzing, we will find at least microscopic good things were there. Because everything is the mixture of good and evil. So the thing is, good and evil will both have their results, will produce their karma. Good action will entail upon us good effect or give us the good effect. And bad action will produce bad effect. But good and bad are both bondages of the soul. The solution reached in the Gita in regards to this bondage producing nature of work is that if we do not attach ourselves to the work we do, it will not have any binding effect on our soul. We shall try to understand what is meant by this non-attachment to work. This is the one central idea in the Bhagavad Gita. Work constantly, incessantly, but be not attached to it. Srimad Bhagavad Pad Shankaracharya ji can be translated very nearly by inherent tendency. Using the simile of a lake for the mind, every ripple, every wave that rises in the mind, when it subsides, does not die out entirely, but leaves a mark and a future possibility of that wave coming out again. This mark, with the possibility of the wave repeating, is what is called samskara. I will do a detailed discussion. Just remember this terminology, samskara. Every work that we do, every moment of the body, every thought that we think leaves such an impression on the mind stuff. And even when such impressions are not obvious on the surface, they are sufficiently strong to work beneath the surface subconsciously. Each and every thought leaves their impression in mind. Each and every breath. So sometimes we may be in a very prestigious position where everyone respect me, but by my mind I entertain some unparliamentary thought, but never express it. Think what will happen. I'm thinking it in the mind and I'm enjoying it. But always remember that every thought has its own impression and it will give result. I have witnessed two great teachers who got presidential award. I have witnessed many good teachers, but here two teachers to be mentioned. One was very highly respected in the society, highly respected, and got president award for their contribution in the teaching. But at last of his life, he was suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia like that. But he was chained inside the room because his attitude and words were so unparliamentary. You can't imagine even that from that person those are coming. So it means when he had a control over his mind, he could restrain it, the bad tendencies inside his mind. He entertained unparliamentary thought and enjoyed inside, did not look for it, and did not imagine also that the day may come when I will not have any control over my mind. So this is the thing, we should not entertain any wrong thing which is against of our life. And now we are spiritual seeker. So it is our struggle that whenever any non-conducive thought comes, which pulls me out from this path, we should not entertain it. So every work that we do, every moment of the body, every thought that we think leaves impression on the mind stuff. And even when such impressions are not obvious on the surface, they are sufficiently strong to work beneath the surface subconsciously. What we are every moment is determined by the sum total of these impressions of the mind. What I am just at this moment is the effect of the sum total of all the impressions of my past life. This is really what is meant by character. Each man's or woman's character is determined by the sum total of these impressions. If good impressions prevail, the character becomes good. If bad impressions prevail, it becomes bad. Liberation means entire freedom freedom from the bondage of good as well as from the bondage of evil. A golden chain is as much a chain as an iron one. In order to get rid of this bondage, we should overcome our tendency of doing bad and then try to do good alone. The tendency to do good also is bypassed in time when the self is attained. Jnanena eva kaivalyam. Jnanena vina muktirna bhavati or bhajati, some places is there. Liberation comes only from knowledge of the Atman, not by any other means, not by puja, not by japa, not by doing anything else meritorious. Moksha or liberation, the ultimate liberation while living, comes through knowledge only. Jnanena eva tu kaivalyam. This self-knowledge does not depend either on our works or worship or spiritual practices or sadhanas or anything. This is made very clear by our ancient teachers. Self-knowledge is revealed when the mind is pure. I'm showing something else and entertaining impure thoughts in my mind. You are far away from liberation, please believe. We may use more, big Rudraksh. We may put lot more kumkum chandan. We may keep more beard and long hairs. There is no connection of all those external attire and liberation. People, millions of people may love me, respect me, touch my feet. Swamiji, how are you? Oh, whenever we see you, like that, like that. If I entertain any slightest of the impure thought inside my mind regarding anything else, I should be cautioned that I am far away from liberation, what I am teaching. That should be so. Acharyanam acharati shastranam iti acharya. He is an acharya. He practices what he preach or what he teach. He teaches. Self-knowledge is revealed when the mind is pure. Pure. If karma has nothing at all to do in the higher stages of Advaita sadhana, now the question is, why is karma discussed? What is karma? All these we are going to discuss. So, in Bhagavad Gita it is told, Kahana karmano gati. Karma is a big subject and it's volatile sometimes. Karma means action. Karma also means fruits of action in a general sense. Though the word karma phala is the correct terminology. The modern concept of karma and that of traditional India are different. In the modern concept of work, we work and learn and earn money. There ends the matter. There is no other condition or sentiment involved. It is all physical. In the Indian concept of work, however, the whole thing is spiritual. Physical work and earning money also have a spiritual connotation. We earn not for livelihood, but to serve God, but to serve gurus, swamis, and the whole world, thinking they are the God alone. Everything is defiled. To understand the ideal, we must see the way ancient India thought of human life. All life is sacred, said the sages, and the goal of all is liberation or attainment of knowledge, whether or not one is conscious of it. All are working towards liberation from limitations. All are working towards liberation from limitations. Knowing the ideal perfectly well, the sages classified human beings into groups. This group is called the caste system. A lot of mudslinging has taken place and is taking place on caste. Much of it is done as a reaction and also owing to ignorance of the fact. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varna Maya Srishta. All those system is created by me, not by the things that I love him. That is why he will be like that. Guna karma, according to the quality, thinking, virtue, ability, that system has been created. But as the time passed, our thinking process has been polluted. Swarthanyasi, selfishness has grabbed everything else and created a problem. Tomorrow we will discuss about the Vedic concept of caste system, and you will realize how scientific it is, how much required it is, why it has been created. Hari Om Tat Sat.